wrong.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the 5th episode of You Right, I'm Wrong with your host Orlando and
Howard.
Howard. Where are you out from?
I guess that's what this. I think it's Howard. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. But Mike.
We'll do a zoom in on the hat so y'all can make sure and y'all can justify that. But today we're going to talk about something very, very interesting. Before we get to the topic, make sure you like this video, share this video, put your comments down below after you hear what we have to say, and then check out our last videos. Mike, what is the topic for this video?
Oh man, so the topic of today.
It's like serious. Got the hat tipped back to the side? Okay.
Yeah, 2003 on your asses. So the topic of today is walking on eggshells in dating, modern dating. Mm-hmm. Do people ask the right questions? The right questions rock the boat to get a perspective of somebody's mindset that can save you years of wasting time. That if it's not compatible in the way y'all think, you see life, and as well as, you know, can you be able to express yourself freely, and of course with boundaries and stuff like that. Be able to lay down boundaries, you know, but be reasonable in how the way that you do express yourself. So it's just, yeah, you know, do you find yourself being closed off because you like a person and you don't want to shake things up, so you're gonna do, you know, say everything that's in agreement, or you?
I agree. I feel like once you are like in the beginning stages, like dating someone, I always felt like the puppy dog, like love phase. It's like you become so infatuated with that person that you are trying to make a potential like mate, that you want to do everything perfect. If you know that they're not doing this, you got to make sure you do that 10 times better. If they want this, you're going to do it. So it's almost like you're trying to prove yourself to that person that, you know what, hey, we're a compatible match. I want to date you, and I want you to see my value to you. So let me do everything I can. But then I feel like after a while, you start like spreading yourself like thin, because you're feeling like a whole facade. And it's like, you know, in real life, that's not really you. But for the simple fact that you wanted to prove to someone that you're interested in, that I should be the one that you're dating, you end up doing stuff that you would normally never, ever do.
Agree.
So, I mean, what's your thought on it?
Yeah, you know, I guess speaking from a personal experience, you know, I think that a lot of guys go through this and not really being a man to some certain extent. To, you know, dating can be very woman-centric, and for us it can be very one-track to do what we need to do and secure wherever we need to secure. And a lot of times it's not really placing those boundaries in place, or to even letting a woman know, like, hey, look, you know, this is not what I'm about. I'm not cool with that. I'm not this and that. You're not willing to shake things up. While I will say the first date should be a lighthearted experience, the older I'm getting, the less patience I have. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm sorry. I don't got time for the BS. So even if I don't set boundaries with you, but if I know it's things that you're doing I don't like, what ends up happening in my head is you're just gonna become casual. It's gonna stay that way. You're gonna make wonder like why it's not moving forward. If you can't self-reflect at any point and be like, well, all right, yeah, it is on you. It's not my place to communicate that, to change you. If you can't see what it is that you're doing. But I do think that people should be able to express themselves, and also to be corrected if in how you express yourself may not be to your sort of liking, and you talk about that, whether you can come to a compromise, or either I'm gonna be me, can you accept that, and all right, we're just not gonna be compatible if it's something that detrimental. I do think a lot of people are scared to shake things up with a person that they're interested in because they don't want to lose that person. And the biggest thing,
shut the table.
Right. And this is, you know, the biggest thing I learned is walking away. That's the biggest thing I learned going into mine. You almost got me there, but I'm a gentleman.
This is what I'm telling this age of one video. This is what slip up and say it.
15, baby. But anyway, you know, I don't have time for that. Like, you know, of course there's things I can compromise on, but
Which that's a huge word.
it is
Compromise.
right.
A lot of people don't really want to compromise. So some of the people, once they get set at a certain age, they don't want to change because they feel like it wasn't really an issue back then. Why is it an issue now? And then a lot of times, the ones who are single at a certain age, but you're not compromising, that's probably the reason why they're single. And so you have a lot of people that feel like if you say one thing to them that they don't like, all of a sudden you're the bad guy. And another one I feel like is like very, very important is consistency. Which, and maybe this might just be me, but I feel like with consistency, when you use that word, people get automatically afraid of that word. And they feel like consistency means that, okay, we're dating. You can be consistent in a friendship, you can be consistent in a relationship. It's the fact of kind of like respecting that person's time as you want them to respect yours.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like you can't ask for that. Even if you're into a relationship, you can't ask for something that you don't give back. And I just feel a lot of people don't want to compromise and they're not consistent.
No, with the compromise, you totally right. A lot of people think that, you know, it's going to be a perfect match for me. And I be wanting to tell, look, if you are a man or a woman that thinks this way, you're not fucking perfect. So you're not going to find a fucking perfect match. Get off your high horse. That's that. You're going to have to compromise some things with somebody. As long as it's not detrimental. If you're a person that's not in open relationships, or you might meet a person that's for the world, and they may be free, and they may they may need to be with a person that's polyamorous.
Right. They're for the streets.
For the streets, they're for that. And it's one thing. You're the type of guy like, look, I like to have sex too, and hey, we can have something open. Yeah, that works. But
both parties have to mutually agree to that. You can't say that you're in an open relationship and the person that you're dating don't know that y'all in an open relationship.
Right, you know, y'all have to align. Even if people look at it as, whoa, that's, you know, not the right spirit, you still have to align. Like, and I will also say to my guys out there, like, yo, you know, say what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I can't fault a lot of ladies to think the way they do think, because a lot of y'all dudes out here will really y'all will have no dignity, self-respect, all just to secure whatever you feel like you need to secure. And whether that's a relationship, the sex, a constant sex, like don't secure your dignity. I don't want to even say pride. Pride is a fool's emotion, but your self-respect. Don't do that. Lay down the line, and if that means that she walk out of here and she got a nice round bum, pretty face and all that, let that go. Cool. It's a dime a dozen. But if it didn't align with what you want, cool. Now, if you're not looking for nothing serious, I understand. Hey, play the game. You know, but if you know that you eventually want to build an empire, or whatever the case may be, wherever you want to go in life, and you know that the way you look at things, that you're going to need a certain type of woman, don't compromise that for anything. And don't sit up here and pander to these ladies also, because you can't now fault ladies for thinking a certain way because you telling them what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? And that's not giving you women excuses either, but I'm talking to the men. Tell it. Yo, pick your nuts up. Pick your nuts up.
Hype them up, hoist them up.
Yeah, hoist them up, man. But I don't want to get long with it here, but
no, I agree with you. It's all about just, and it's the thing that amazes me is that when people get into these relationships, they're on an image or facade of what you feel like this person may want, just for the simple fact of, okay, I will act this way to appease them because in the end, I'm going to date them. As that time progresses on, your real self starts coming out. And normally, I looked at the study where they said like the first 3 months of you talking to someone, you put on a facade. But then after that, that's when the real you comes out. And during that time period, that's when the arguments start. Because you put on an image for the person to like you, vice versa, men and women. You put on an image for the person to like you, and once the real you comes out, it's like, oh well, I don't like that. But I mean, some people are really good enough facade, they're holding on. But as like time progresses, you really feel like you don't really know the person that you're dating or married to because you didn't take that time to get to know them. You got to know the image that they're putting on for you, but not the real person who they really are. And I feel like that creates like a big problem with relationships. Just relationships in general. People put on what they feel like they think the other person would want because kind of in a way, it's a little selfish. I want you in my life. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do. It's almost like tricking someone. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get you to be in my life. So I'm kind of like tricking.
Everybody puts on their best representative. You know, everybody's a little bit selfish.
What's that wrong with being selfish?
And manipulative. At the end of the day, everybody is.
What's that wrong with being a little manipulative?
You know, everybody is. I would say as long as you do it within good reason and good faith to get what you want. You know, everything don't have to be a negative connotation with it. But yeah, you're right. People will put on their best representative within a certain amount of time until they can secure what they can secure. But what I will disagree with is this, that a lot of times we really overlook those red flags because we want something so bad. And when you think back on so much crap, when you look at human history, most people will say, damn, it was right in front of my face. They did this and that, but I overlooked it because, hey, the D was good, the Y was good, or the mouthpiece, or just the experience that they was giving me. It felt so good that I didn't want that to, you know.
You kind of have like rose-colored glasses on.
Right.
You know, like, I don't see anything.
Right. And one thing that I learned, and I would say that the Lord has blessed me. You know, I'm Christian, y'all, but if you're not, I accept everybody for who they are. So, you know, if you believe in people, whatever the case may be, all that is welcome over here and in the comment section. The thing is, you know, I've been blessed with perceptiveness. Like I can pick up on too much, and it's so shameful to know that I let things override. But that's just being human. Just nowadays, I'm not. So I'm gonna be real. A lot of females in my mind would just end up in my friend zone or cut zone, whatever the case may be. Just because
friend zone.
You know, it's gonna come with some benefits.
Check out the last video of Can Men and Women Be Friends, or is the WAP too powerful? Like,
it's gonna come with some benefits anyway. Yeah, check that out. What's my word, y'all? I'm sorry.
Link down below.
And but yeah, certain things now would just trigger my mind, like, ooh, that would just disqualify you because you just did that, and especially if it reminds me of a past experience of a same type or archetype, it will honestly cause me to self-reflect to ask, well, what am I doing to attract these types? Because I don't want that.
Because you know, always say you are what you attract.
Right.
So if you're toxic, you're going to attract toxic people. But I mean, a lot of times people don't know the inners of them. So when you don't know the inner of yourself, it's like you see through your eyes on somebody else. Or it's like, well, no, this person's like trash. Am I trash, Nelson?
Yeah. And if you're able to do introspective work, you can do that. That says a lot. If you can pull back, I do that a lot. When I see certain things happen, or if I see too much alignment of the same thing, you know what? I'm the common denominator here, so let me pull back and let me see what's going on with me. And then if I go through scenarios like, well, I don't think I was wrong here. If I got to talk to friends, well, let me tell you here, and hopefully I ain't trying to be too biased, but I don't really think I was wrong. You know,
a lot of times, most of us are feeling wrong.
We don't. To tell the story, and you know, just be like, all right, well, I'm not attracted to that. I have to work on me, but what that person is showing, and to show me other things that I don't want. They might have got me years ago, but I don't know. So
when you know better, you do better.
Right. And I really think a lot of people don't want to hear that because when they're feeling good, you know, they think that everything is good, and it's not. You have to think. You have to think about, you know, logically, you know, and that is he felt like this went into the last topic of settling. You know, when we talked about settling, what episode that was?
That was episode 2. Link in the description down there.
All right, and my sub point to this was, you know, do people really date only for happiness or practicality? You know, and I don't think people look at the practical side of what dating is, and you know, what could it be, you know, that can benefit you. Do you want to build? Do you want to have somebody there at the end of death?
Well, let's pause that for a second. So, you said you don't think settling's like a bad thing. I think settling's a bad thing. And I guess like a perfect example of that is, let's use Sierra as an example. Sierra dated Future. Future got a whole football field of kids. She joined the baby mama brigade, and she was fine with it. So at that time, that was the type of man that she had wanted. So it was like, I want a man that's like rough around the edges, who, I guess the whole one that people like to use, that can protect me. I know he can protect me. That's pretty much the end of it, because Future was just on the streets. So Sierra got with Russell Wilson. A lot of people, from when they started dating each other up until now, they said that Sierra settled on Russell Wilson because he's a nice guy. He took care of a child that's not even his, as if he's his own. And he's an overall, like, nice guy. And there's nothing wrong with it. But a lot of people said that Sierra settled for Russell. So, and Future was what somebody she really wanted. So it's like, okay, if I get the spice from somebody that it's not good for me, should I go with what my heart wants, or should I go with what maybe life is telling me as far as like, well, you need to move down this lane. This person's a provider. This person is basically the pitch perfect, stable. They're like the pitch perfect like human being. So should I settle on that?
Okay.
And, like I said, I think Rihanna settled on A$AP Rocky. Russell Wilson seems like a nice guy, but I feel like Sarah settled on him.
Well, you know,
no, not in a good way.
I'm right. This is the first episode of I'm Right. All right, can we actually both agree? She settled. Yeah, she settled on.
Not in a good way.
It's man, this is a big old conversation. Look, y'all. And one thing to say about this, I'm gonna make it short. If you are dating with intention and you're making it clear what you're dating about, I won't say it's too thirsty, because if you nut and the person knows this is where I want to go, it's something about you. I want to see where this is going, and I'm looking to either get married. Well, I'm looking to get married. Hopefully, have a family one day. You don't have to lay it all out like that, but you know, my intention is I want to take you serious. And if they don't reciprocate that, I don't look at it as being thirsty. That's all I have to say.
That's just setting your intentions and making it known, so there's no questions asked.
Right.
Or confusion later on down the line.
Right.
So, that's a good way to end the video off. When you're dating someone or getting to know someone, always state your intentions, but do it in a very tactful way. Don't be like thirsty or too aggressive in doing it. But just state your intentions. And if the person doesn't really agree with what you're saying, or if they're not looking for the same thing either, then hey, let's split the fish in the sea.
Right.
So, we'll make sure that you guys like this video, share this video again, put your comments down below, and subscribe to this channel. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by, let's say,
tonight at 12.
Oh Lord. I mean, anything's possible.
I mean, you know, it's possible. Look, we're trying to be, by the end of the year, we want to get 10,000 subscribers. How about that?
Manifestation. I like that. 10,000 subscribers, so we'll speak to existence.
Yeah.
So, that means that you guys will subscribe to this video and share with your friends and let people know about us. And, yeah, this is another episode of...
You're right.
You're right, I'm wrong.
See, I kind of forgot. Look, and also as well, if you are interested in possibly, you know, want to collaborate or anything like that, put it in the comments. Do you two still do DMs?
Nothing to set up a job.
Okay, man, that I'm not gonna tell my age, but I know you two long enough. But We should have our Instagram information. You know, anybody up, you know, we'll definitely try to set up an episode. If you're in the whatever.
If you're in the area that we're in,
yeah,
people are crazy. Just put your comments down below, DM us, and yeah, we want to ask other people on here, other guests, that their opinions, their thoughts, and if you do music, we're looking at people on here that do music as well. So yeah, definitely slide into either my DM, slide into mine. We'll put it somewhere on the screen. We'll put it down in the description box below. So yeah. And I guess,
yeah,
we will see y'all in the next video.
Next video, y'all. Peace.